What makes the Google Pixel 7a better than the Google Pixel 7? It is not better. The only difference is the Google Pixel 7a is $100 cheaper, and in order to get there, Google had to make 6 sacrifices. But overall, it is essentially the same phone with just some minor differences. First up is the build quality. With the Google Pixel 7, you're getting a glass front and back. To be honest, most people might not even notice the difference unless they look it up. Google did a pretty good job with the 7a to make it feel premium, even though it is a budget phone. The regular Google Pixel 7 has IP68 water resistant compared to the IP67 on the Pixel 7a. Not much of a difference on the day-to-day life unless you're diving in a pool for more than half an hour. You should be able to shower with this phone, have it on the sink, go by the pool. It's still water resistant, you just can't stay in the pool for that long, which I think is fine. It's not like people are sitting in the pool every single day. Number 3 is the faster charging. You will get the faster charging in the Google Pixel 7 compared to the 7a, and I find this to be actually a really big difference. Just on a normal day-to-day life, Google Pixel 7a barely lasts 9 hours, and whenever I need to go outside, I have to recharge my phone again. And with the 7a, it takes me at least an hour and a half to fully charge the phone, compared to the regular 7 is close to an hour or an hour 10 minutes. Even when I'm out and about, just having my phone, just having the Google Pixel 7a plugged in, and if I'm driving the car with GPS, music, bright screen and everything on, even with a 15 watt fast charger connected to the phone, I know the 7a support up to 18 watt, but even with a cable connecting to it, it is still losing charge as I'm driving, which I find to be pretty surprising. And a lot of reason for that is the phone just getting hot and can't handle all the apps, the heat and everything going on at the same time, just with the weather and in addition to all the apps. Even though both phones have the same exact chip, the slower charging on the Google Pixel 7a does hinder it a little bit. But if you're not using a phone, it's just sitting on a table, it can charge on its own just fine. It's just when you're out and about, you would need the faster charging on the Google Pixel 7. Fourth differences is just the size. With the regular 7, you're getting the 6.3 inch compared to the 6.1 on the 7a. And although on the surface, software and everything should be exactly identical, there are some little things that Google did take away from the Google Pixel 7a that is present in the regular Google Pixel 7. For example, the cinematic blur mode, whenever you're walking around, it's kind of similar to like the video portrait mode in Samsung. You can record an object and the background looks blurry. It gives you that cool cinematic movie effect. I know a lot of people are not going to need that every single day, but little things like that was slowly stripped away in order to save that extra $100. There are many more little small software features like that hidden throughout the phone that is slowly taken away, that Google thinks most normal people wouldn't notice, but it is there. And finally, the Google Pixel 7a is just limited to one storage option at 128 GB. So if you want the 256, you would need to get the regular Pixel 7. So those are the 6 reasons why the Google Pixel 7a is $100 cheaper than the Google Pixel 7. It is Google's version of the mid-year reboot and just marketing technique to remind people that the Pixel 7 series still exists. The iPhone does something similar as well. They released the iPhone in October, and 6 months later, they just released a random yellow color to remind people that the iPhone 14 still exists. Samsung do that as well. They released the mid-range series with the A54. Google is doing the same thing with the Google Pixel 7a here. They're basically repackaging the flagship phone in a much more appealing price to attract customers who didn't want to buy the Google Pixel 7 the first time around. But there you have it. I know it may be obvious for some people, but there are a lot of people out there who get confused with these marketing technique. They're wondering why the 7a is better than the 7 when it's really not. It's just a newer phone at a cheaper price while making sacrifices to the original phone to achieve that lower price point. Hope you guys found out to be helpful. Now let's jump into day 23 with this phone. I used the Google Pixel 7 previously over 40 days, so I had a lot of experience with that. After that, I had the S23 over 3 months, and currently I'm using the Google Pixel 7a. And the more I use this phone, I find myself having to be glued to the charger every single time I leave my house. And that's something I don't really like doing. When you're walking outside, you don't want to be carrying a portable battery pack, a wire, and you don't want to have to be attached to a wire every time you're walking around as well. Super annoying, just another thing to carry, but in reality, it's just that the battery life and the charging speed is not that great on this phone, so I find that you need to change your lifestyle a little bit, because it is truly not an all-day battery life phone for me. So on day 23, I woke up at 6:30 a.m., By 10:30, it is at 77%. Throughout the day, I'm always reading random Reddit threads, and here is another similar post. Too long didn't read, overall great phone, but just poor battery life, which is something I pretty much reiterated during my whole time with this phone. I know initially I was super excited with the 7A when I just got it. I did say I would recommend it in one of my short videos, but after using it for a while, I do see why Samsung charged more. If you can afford the $200 to $300 extra, I would get the S23 instead, due to the fact that it has a much better battery life. So currently my phone is projected to last until 5 p.m. and as I'm driving around just using my phone throughout the day, I get this notification saying my phone is getting warm. This happens when I use it as a GPS or I just have it as a dash cam app. Just a Tensor G2 chip is not very efficient and can't really handle it, as well as the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 and the S23. So that is something that I see pretty often, and here is my portable wireless charger. I find that I just need to bring this around every time I leave the house. With the S23, I barely ever touch my power bank, but with the Pixel 7a, you would need it as you are leaving the house, especially if you're not 100% before leaving the house. So by 6 o'clock, my phone is at 13%. I had it plugged in while I was driving. So overall today, I got 5 hours of YouTube playing, some camera, some dash cam actions, about 3 hours of screen on time, 6 hours of idle time. Not that impressive, but that has been the story so far with the Google Pixel 7a. So this concludes day 23. Hope you guys find that to be helpful. Please check out day 22, where I talk about why you should be using the screen protector on the Google Pixel 7a. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe. See you guys in the next video.